Hello, homies. Today we're going to be taking a look at Tudor versus a man with an incredible username, Mr. 420 Quickscops. Yep, it's Call of Duty. And we've got two games here. Obviously, the titles of the replays may have given something away there. I think one of them was fast and one of them was nasty. I'm not really sure what the specifics are. But Quickscops over here hails from Australia. He's a cool homie. And this will be the first time he's showing up on the channel as someone who's not just in the chat of the live stream, but actually playing the game. And he is our Terran in the bottom left. It looks like a silver-pink Terran. Indeed it is. And Tudor in the top right. He is probably not Asparagus or Celadon, but I'm going to guess Celadon. And it was Emerald Terran. Okay, in the top right. So I did see that, yes, indeed, Quickscops is out here with his heckin' Call of Duty name, going for a stockade. Pretty fast, pretty close. And this is, of course, Alpha XY, a map by the Shambler. This map actually has been a little bit out of favor for a bit, but, you know, it still technically works. It still is a map you can play. So that's exactly what these homies are doing. And looks like the secondary scout timing is going to be a little bit more normal, but still actually a bit early. I don't know that Tudor has necessarily internalized that because our players here are exceedingly new to the game. So very cool stuff. Quickscops did not participate in March Invitational 2025. Tudor did. Whether we get to cast his group before you see this video, or this is just an appetizer for what is to come, that is entirely dependent on scheduling. So we will find out about that. Oh, actually, that guy wasn't here to scout. He was here to build another forward stockade. Quickscops obviously not actually building anything out of his first stockade, and he is harvesting a lick of gas here. So we'll have to see what happens with that. As a Mason and a Maverick have already departed the base of Tudor. I don't know if Tudor knows the map. He's looking for proxies already. Interesting. I don't know if this is the only game that they've played. I seem to recall at one point somebody was trying to practice holding really fast proxy, bioaggression, Shambler style. And maybe he asked Quickscops to do that. I don't remember. I could just be making that up. Obviously, there's a lot of activity in the server lately, so I can't always keep up to tabs with what everybody is doing. But that's a little bit of color for you there. That might shade in additional depth. Because, of course, it could just be that Quickscops has been doing this, and then Tudor's been like, what the hell? This man? He's a proxy man. I got to scout everywhere. But he's actually going to waypoint his Mavericks across the map, not finding the proxy just yet. No, obviously, you could try to attack the proxy itself with your superior numbers if you had them. But there's already a third stockade nearing completion, lots of Mavericks and Cyprians as well. That is a lethal combination because Cyprians in bio fights, we rarely see it, but Cyprians destroy Mavericks as long as there's some other buffer to prevent the Mavericks from stimming up on top. There's like a rare case where in low numbers, the Cyprians can't overwhelm the Maverick count, and bad things can happen. So Tudor's actually gone to a dead end. This base does not lead anywhere. So I'm not really 100% sure where he's going, or if he's just doesn't know the layout of the map. He's lifting his ministry. Okay, that was clearly an error. And now all of his Masons are moving to the middle of the map. Oh, Tudor, what have you done? What's going on here? Get your stuff back in action, soldier. Well, that's hilarious. So they go to the middle of the map because there's a treasury, and that is a neutral drop-off point there. So they will still try to do their due diligence and mine. Okay, now we know he was just trying to put a quarry down, but there was some shenanigans afoot. So at this point, right, he's got 9 Mavericks. There's no defenses here for Quickscops whatsoever. And he's still just kind of moving around. He's got nothing being made right now. I guess I should say he's got a treasury being made in the top left and a single Huracan being made at the bio ball there. So I guess he can lift his ministry, and then we're entering into a base race or something? Like, what's going on here? Like, hey, buddy, you don't got nothing. He pulls the Masons off to the side. No, he's going to try to drill them out onto the resources there. That is not going to really work out too well, as Tudor is wisely targeting the Mason count, right? This is going to force Quickscops to move in. I mean, talk about, Bronze League Heroes stuff. That's basically where we are at right now, as only 4 Masons survive, and most of them were in the proxy area. Oh, heavens. Hey, this guy can start mining at the very least. The ministry can always lift off and join it later on. So we've got 4 Mavericks and an anchor, and 5 Mavericks just holding the ramp here? I actually don't think this is going to be enough, and Tudor's only got 2 Mavericks a pop coming out. So yep, the anchor cracks. Nice stims there from Quickscops as he charges forward. Doesn't look like he's lost a single Cyprian, though hard to tell. And that's really the key point. He still has a Huracan to rend the armor. That means the Cyprian shots are going to start penetrating the stockade. And the Mavericks are crucially going to be doing a ton of damage here. He has to pull all of his Mavericks back. He's only got 6 Mavericks. I think Tudor might be in real deep doo-doo at this point. He's adding a Cestus and an Anchor in the background there. If he can maybe get it up and put something over there, that could potentially help him. But I don't think it's going to work. I think Quickscops has him. I think he's roasted, to be honest. 2 Mavericks get queued up for the last of his money. He is slowly mining with the 2 workers up here in the top left. And GG has to be called. I can't believe it, but I can believe it. That's exactly what I would have expected as Tudor concedes. Quickscops will get himself a dub. And wow, impressive, incredible. I must see what happens in game 2. And you must watch as well. All right, we have actually cross positions here on the same map. So they've reversed the positions from before. We've got Quickscops, Mr. 420 Quickscops to you. And that's, he's in the top right. That's our silver pink Terran once again. Tudor in the bottom left. He seems to be the snow Terran. Yes, okay. I recognize that tone on the, specifically on the Ministry. It's like, it's not white. That's something a little bit bluer. That must be snow. Well, Tudor is going to need to do a better job of scouting and finding the proxy so he doesn't just get hit with the backstab, right? That's like the key detail. Obviously, Quickscops could have done a lot more there in general. I'm also wondering what Tudor was doing. He's just left his Mason and his Ministry idle. Sometimes you just got to take a phone call or something, you know? And you don't feel like pausing. You're like, yeah, whatever. I'm still going to win. Or not. Quickscops is scouting around for a good spot to put down his stockade. It's the mirrored position from where he was before, but actually, he wants to put it a little bit closer, it seems like. Okay, all right. Double stockade here for Tudor, which makes a lot of sense. The first stockade, of course, for Quickscops was actually not proxied. So maybe he's changing his ways. Maybe he's just scouting super early for no particular reason. That could indeed be the case. While you guys are here... Oh, no, never mind. There's the stockade right in the middle of the scouting path, as brazen as you can possibly be. Perhaps this is the mind game, right? Tudor will spend all his time scouting not the obvious path. He will not right-click a unit towards Quickscops' base, and then he will not find the brazen stockade in the middle. You gotta respect the balls, the gonads, the cojones to make something like that happen. I don't know the Aboriginal term for balls, but maybe somebody can teach it to me, and I can say it there as well, because that would at least be a little bit more relatable for Quickscops. Just about to finish up the stockade there in the front line, and he's already made a Cyprian, I think, right? Yeah, his first combat unit was a Cyprian. That's actually also ballsy, because if you just get run up on by 3 Mavericks, the Cyprian is kind of like, it's a weaker version of your Gateway making Ecclesiast before Zealot, right? Or before Hierophant or something. It's like, the whole idea is that you're investing into the future where you're assuming you're not going to get attacked early. So he's put down another stockade. He's not making anything out of this one. What is he doing? He's adding an anchor back at home. I mean, this is so odd. And the Mavericks, of course, are just going to come right across the map, cancel this first stockade. Hey, what's up? And cause a lift on the other, surely. I mean, like, what do you do here as Quickscops? You're gonna lift one. I guess you can force him to stick around and do nothing. Like, he's now just gonna have to kill this stockade very, very slowly, and you can just cancel it later on. I'm not sure that Quickscops will cancel it. He does have 2 Cyprians and an anchor. It does not get canceled. Okay, well, Quickscops still has enough money to go for an expansion if he wants to, and with the double Cyprian and an anchor, it is a very good defensive tool. This one stockade could theoretically fly all the way around and start waypointing units into the natural or something, so always an opportunity there. Tudor adding an anchor of his own, by the way, behind his stockades. He's desperately afraid that there's another Giga Force waiting to walk right into his base. The Huracans are assailed. They get 1 light up off, 2 lights up, and that's pretty much it. It looks like Tudor is not managing his army there. He could have just tried to waypoint past the anchor, but it did not happen. And Quickscops adding 3 more stockades, and he's adding a Covenant to the stockade that's all the way over here. Very impressive stuff. Vestry back here for both players, actually, in their mains. Keeping track of where these players have put their things is definitely an interesting proposition here. But there's a treasury, not a ministry, despite the money, for Quickscops. Tudor looked like he was about to go for an expo too, but I guess not, huh? Well, we've got Triple Maverick and a Shaman. Oh, look at this. He's actually going to find the Covenant. You know, and Quickscops is looking it over like, hey, I don't have enough Vespian. How has Tudor sussed this out? That's what I want to know. Will he even notice it? His Cyprian's making all the way over here, and I don't think either player noticed the movement. His ministry is going down over here by the third. That is so bizarre. 12 Mavericks, well, a little bit more than that, actually, and, of course, some Clerics to back them up. As long as you could put through, maybe throw, like, 1 or 2 Hurricanes over there to clear the anchor, that's a good move. Yeah, this is going to be a wrap on that stockade. It's going to have to lift off and get out of dodge. The Cyprians can't exactly kill it, but they can at least force it into a burning stage. Oh, I take it back. They actually can keep it up. For some reason, I thought there was going to be, like, a neutral, like, unpathable terrain over here that the stockade could fly over. But nope, the stockade will indeed be hunted down. Whether he goes after the Covenant later on is not really that important. I guess it provides a tiny bit of vision in a relatively inconsequential part of the map for Quickscops. Otherwise, he might just detonate it later himself. But always good to have a little bit of vision on the map. Makes it feel a little bit less scary. Double Covenant here. Tudor has been reminded that the Covenant exists and will be using it, courtesy of what Quickscops did. Theoretically, he could lift one of his stockades in his main and go retake that position since the add-on is still there. I'm just sort of spitballing here, guys. This is very much a non-standard game, and that's fine by me. We've got a star pad in the third base that is actually the natural for Tudor. Worker count a little bit better here for Quickscops. He's definitely been better at making workers of the two players, but that's despite not having a second ministry. I'm sure Tudor will be able to change his fate there, making a couple of Savants. His star pad halfway complete. We'll see what he ends up getting up to. And the other thing I'm kind of curious about here, as the second Vestry finishes up, we got a Fulcrum on the way for Quickscops. Does he want to go for Phalanx? Because that can be really difficult for Bio to actually break through unassisted. A couple of Masons getting tasked onto the Vespian over here. Do we have a Sieve? No. No ridge capping for Tudor, but Quickscops has one. Big ups to him. Using the mechanics of the game. Double Savant and... I don't know. That's I mean, they're very, very good in Bio v Bio fights because of their kinetic penetration. But the Phalanx is on the way. Can you get to a point where you can defeat the Sieged Phalanx? I think it is a tall order, a difficult ask. Plus the cliff advantage here with the anchor plus the cliff advantage for range. There's a +3 range benefit to the Cyprians, which already natively have 7 range. So you're going to have to be dealing with them from quite a distance away, as you can see, just by that helpful illustration. He's going to charge forward anyway. And, you know, he will be able to bring down the anchor, but at what cost has to be asked. The Cleric's boosting the armor of the Cyprian a little bit here, reducing the damage dealt by the counter Bio, but the Mavericks don't care about it. There's a Cyclops out as well. Yeah, this is a very scary army from Quickscops. We do have an Ancial on the way and another one already on the field. The Savants here will definitely help versus the move out from Quickscops. And especially since he's not bringing that Phalanx, that is a bit of a problem right now. He's going to go ahead and force another stim out so he can kill that Cleric and maybe continue chasing stuff down. No, he's going to maybe stabilize here in the middle of the map, or in other words, pivot away somewhere else. Tudor's got a random Savant in the top left. That's a pretty expensive unit to just be using as, like, expansion watch. You'll see the top players send, like, Zethrakors, maybe Quasilisks, that kind of thing. Of course, Mavericks, and even, like, Zealots or, dare I say, Ecclesiasts, in different positions to try to keep tabs on the enemy expansions. But in this particular case, having a Savant there is not super useful. He will go ahead and sprint down to join up with the rest of the crew, perhaps, although actually Tudor seems to be falling back with the bulk of his army. He probably still is, like, on the lookout for those Mavericks, but little does he know, and while they could have just fallen back, they are currently sitting in a potential 4th base location. Tudor has gone ahead and taken his natural. Finally. That's all I can say. I do like that Tudor has a couple of different groups on the map, you know? I do feel like they're individually pretty brittle, but if they come across an undefended base or a proxy, as has happened a few times already, they can definitely help out there. Quickscops has a ton of money, and he's not producing anything right now because he's busy escorting his men around. Definitely feels like he needs to spend that money. I guess he might be waiting to get tier 2. No, he ends up spending it on Shaman, so I guess he's fine to spend a little bit of Vespine. His cleric falls under attack. The Ant-Seals are here to deal with those mines, so it's a good idea from Quickscops, but as of right now, he is going to be a little bit lacking. Oh, he sends them out a little bit haphazardly as well, and they're underneath the Ant-Seal. You're not going to be able to get any picks that way, so that's a lot of dead vultures. Might have been able to help just sort of throw damage out there in the front. Still so much money, especially on the minerals. But even his gas float is pretty significant for this stage of the game if you're not trying to go for tier 2. We've got Watchdogs adding all over the place for Tudor as he fears an air attack. It's like he just suddenly remembered, air units exist and I might have to go up against them. To his credit, Quickscops does have a star pad, but... oh, Neblime is so happy to see that an Atlas is being built at the third base, which is also the natural. You know, if I tell him that, oh yeah, a new player built this tier 2 in the natural, he might be like, okay, well, there's some situations where maybe that could work. Then he finds out the natural is the third, and he's going to say, never mind, he must be destroyed. First couple of rounds of the Cyclops. Nice work there with the mines, actually, despite the Ant-Seals coming out. When there's a combat unit in the area, that takes priority over the mines, and the Cyclops are rip-roaring through this bio right now. They were so cost-efficient for only having 4 of them, and here comes the Phalanx as well. The Ant-Seals flying into sure death, thinking about maybe trying to use them to absorb the pressure from the Cyprians and such, but instead they just end up getting absolutely shellacked. Well, Tudor will have to fall back now while his Atlas completes. He could actually still stand right about here away from the artillery zone, and he doesn't have to fall back completely. This band of bio from Quickscope still hasn't made it into the enemy base, and there is a pretty big rally there, so it would actually get cleaned pretty easily. Pure Savant production out of those Covenants, not a single Eidolon. Makes sense, Eidolons do require a little bit of, you know, a deft hand as far as the control is concerned. I do like what Tudor seems to be doing, where he's sending out the ability to get some more expansions with his considerable bank. Quickscope has almost 4,000 minerals, so he's definitely not going to be behind him on that front. One thing that I do think that you'll see a lot of experienced players do is when their tier 2 is about to finish, they preemptively partition off a bunch of Masons off to the side so that they can do something clever, like immediately build captaincies or mantles or starports. So that's a Savant taking a lot of hits before the Vultures will finally bring it down. A little bit of a freebie there because it wasn't on attack move. And that Mason that was maybe thinking about expanding there is going to be saved. As previously mentioned, Tudor just kind of forgot about this rally, so the little bio ball there is not going to be useful for Quickscops. He is going to have to fall back and just guard that extra base directly north. He could sync up with a Trojan if he sends like 2 Trojans over here, maybe just 1 Trojan with how few Mavericks there are, and kind of elevators them into the base. I think that's basically the intended function for that area. Considering actually trying to hold this base in an even game scenario is a little bit difficult. It's so far away. All right, a quarry has been added for Tudor. He's also adding 1 captaincy. Count them, 1 captaincy. Quickscops, on the other hand, he's so gas-gated right now, but he's not harvesting Vespine from his natural and hasn't been this entire game so far as I can tell. Obviously, he ridge-capped over here, but not over here. And he hasn't expanded either. He's sending a bunch of Masons out in different locations. Maybe he will attempt to do that, or maybe they're just there for scouts. I see one heading to the top left, and I would think that that's related to it. 2 starports coming for Tudor. So the tech, obviously, I always end up trying to favor the player who has the more tech. Within reason, right? Like if it's a remotely even game, I'm thinking, okay, if you've got a superior set of tech, you can definitely make better choices with your arsenal. But we have seen some games where that has not always been the case. And with a big bio army, Quickscops can potentially pose a threat to some of these less defended base locations. In fact, where is the army? Okay, it looks like it all linked up over here in one location outside the natural. We've got a 3rd captaincy on the way here for Tudor. First one just made a single madcap, as far as I'm aware. Making a Wraith out of the star pad, but you've got 2 starports. Yeah, Neblime would probably have a mild cardiac event looking at this base. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. A Sentinel on the way at somewhere as well. Still no Vespian mining and still no expanding done from Quickscops. He's very much escorting his group right now, you know? And he's like, oh yeah, hey, nice. I'll put a stockade here instead of an expand. Oh, yeah, sure. Reinforce it from that position. It's like Warp Gate in Starcraft 2, right? I can rally all of my units to one location as long as I have a factory there or something. All right, well, coming on down here, this is an endangerment of Tudor's base. He's got 3 Idle Masons in the bottom right. He's now going to go ahead and test them to work just in time for our silver-pink Mr. 420 Quickscops to make something happen. The Wraith actually getting killed by various other units just sort of strewn about inside Quickscops' base. But the Ministry is basically forfeit. Obviously, it's not immediately being targeted. Nice stim out, actually, from Quickscops. It's a very awkward engagement because he's just kind of focusing down the captaincy and incidentally killing that very important ministry there. I say very important. Both players have a pretty considerable bank. The Cyprians are on auto move. They were not on attack move. That is a massive blunder there from Quickscops. I don't know what he was trying to focus on, but much better to kill the bio as best you can. No Hurricanes there to armor rend. Of course, nothing more durable either. And really nothing on either side to do that kind of armor rend. So the army gets crushed. He's got more units where that came from. He needs to respond to this one annoying threat. What's he going to do here? It will be a ministry. Okay, ministry on both locations. We love to see that. And he's also doing it over here by his proxy stockade. The Wraith has only killed 2.5 Masons so far. And yeah, he's like, yeah, whatever. I have a lot of money, actually. I should spend that first. There you go. Finally, it falls down. Very nice, very nice. So we do indeed have a bunch of Vultures and Mavericks on the way. He's queued up a ridiculous amount of money. He's basically spent all of his cash making 4 ministries. Where's the 4th one? Oh, he made one down here as well. Okay. I mean, at least he has a force over there. Wyverns were spotted in the production tab, and indeed they are on the field as well. Tudor using his advanced flyers for that purpose. I mean, this is a bona fide underclass game if I've never seen one. I know Tudor's been playing a lot of Cosmo anyway in preparation for his showing in the March Invitational, which we don't actually have casted as of the time of recording this, but we might end up getting it casted pretty soon, in time for this video to be either before or after it for sure. So overall, I'm definitely interested in seeing where that comes from. And look at that! He's going a step further. I'm going to try to go find where he's building this. There it is! So he is making the facade, which basically is capable of cloaking allies nearby. So we'll have to see whether or not he ends up using that at any point. It's more of a defensive tool, although you can try to use it offensively. To his credit, the only detection that Quickscops has had this entire game is like a deployed shaman, right? And you know, he has 1 left. He hasn't made any ant seals or anything. He's very much stalled up inside his natural. The Daedala is coming online here for Tudor. He's also going for an anvil at his natural 3rd. And yeah, that's definitely a big deal there. So one of the things that I'm really interested in is Rainarel was doing this tactic earlier. He would make a Seraph, which requires a commandment add-on to the starport. And as he made the Seraph, this SimCity is absolutely by the way. He's making rotaries instead. So this is going to be done via Eidolons, which makes sense. He already has the tech for it. But if he made the Seraph, you could then use the facade to cloak the Seraph while it's in the middle of its nuke channel, which is pretty good, honestly. That's pretty cool. Obviously, it's still defeated by proximity, but, you know, a cloaked Seraph nuking is a lot better. Well, Quickscops won't let this punk one-up him. He's going to build his Atlas all the way in the top left. The proxy Atlas strategy. And, you know, I'll put a Sentinel down right here. You know, Tudor can make diadems. We might see diadems in this game since his tier 3 is nearly complete. Very light saturation in all of these satellite bases here for Quickscops. Did he get... Oh, he did get to mining his geyser at the very least. He's not mining his ridge, and he's not capping it either. I was about to say he's not capping his geysers, but he can't do that yet. His Atlas isn't finished. Air units heading in. Don't tell me they're going all the way to the top left where the Atlas is. That is a disaster. How could somebody foil his plans? How could somebody find his Atlas? It's hidden. It's cloaked. Build the facade. Oh, you can't. It's a tier 2 thing. What a mess. Well, the facade is not going to factor into this battle as Tudor's already pushing out. And he finds the location where the Atlas is being made. What will he do about that? He's going to try to go after... Oh, it finishes the Atlas, though! It finishes. For just a moment, Quickscops has tier 2. What's he going to do with it? He's got a bunch of vultures. They can't shoot up. That will not help him. Yeah, you can't even lift the Atlas because the Gorgons freeze it in place. So that's very epic. The Sentinel! The proxy Sentinel from the Talos! I can't believe this. It's all coming undone. The Mavericks must scramble to the assistance of the Atlas and the Ministry. It's not going to happen, boys. Goodbye. It was still the right move to lift the Atlas because it denies the Wyverns an attack target, but very unfortunate there. The Atlas is defeated. And Quickscops, during that time, did not build a single tier 2 thing. FYI. Another Sentinel being built. Well, at least he's going to use his bio to kill all of these air units. Well, most of them. Only one Wyvern survives. No, it doesn't even survive. That's 3 Gorgons. Man, I have seen some shit in this game. Sentinels being built everywhere. Everywhere they can be. There's bases in very strange locations. A couple of Gorgons are here. Deploy the Phalanxes to ward them off. Diadem is on the way. Where is it being built, though? Right here in the natural. Well, it might end up factoring into this fight here because there's a bunch of Mavericks being moved in. There's also those vultures here from earlier. The Sentinels kill the Ministry. I can't believe I just saw that. Oh my god. Tudor's got so much. I don't think Quickscops is getting out of this one. No matter how many times he calls in a nuke from Call of Duty. The Diadem's here. It kills a Wraith, I think. Maybe not. It's mostly just there for aura points, you know? Well, I'm at a loss for words. I'm losing aura points. I think that's what the kids say. Hey, at least the Zoomers are aware of aura. I feel like, you can tell me what you guys think, but I'm pretty sure the Zoomers are a spiritually aware generation. You know? Entering post-modernism or something like that. Well, Wellbores are on the way. Man, I have not seen those since an FFA. Tudor even making hypnagogues. He wants to relocate his whole army piece by piece. It's easier than letting the pathfinding do the work. Couple Gorgons arrive. What the hell? Is there a diadem? I can't... Wow! He built a diadem in the man's base! Dude, what? How do you do that? How is this possible? I have seen so many things in my time, but I have never seen a proxy diadem literally in the man's base. Well, I don't care what I had to sit through in order to attain such a frightening vision of the future. But we've got a proxy diadem. Incredible. It only took Quickscops not paying any attention to it for that to happen. He's only now realizing that that's happening. I wonder if these guys were in voice. I know Quickscops is often in voice. Oh, I like the strat. Pull the boys. Get the boys on the field. Yeah, do the splash damage to the Gorgons. Ooh, one of them goes down. Unfortunately, the Sentinels are going to make this strategy not quite work out. Tudor now eclipsing Mr. Quickscops, Mr. 420 Quickscops, by a considerable margin in terms of resources. The Cyprians, the slowest moving, potentially most conga line unit of them all. Oh. It's a disaster. The Talos does go down. The Sentinel will be destroyed. Ooh. Maybe the Diadem's met its match. I can't tell the ion field is killing everything. Another Diadem shot kills mostly Tudor's own units. And here comes a big attack. There's already a Diadem here. Quick, cloak it, even though there's ant seals. He's gonna go ahead and try to repair it. His army continues to streamline directly into the throng of death that is the natural of Quickscops. I feel like the plot has been lost. I think I was in podcast mode without even realizing it for a little while here. The diadem's still being repaired. It's got 42 kills. It's dealt so much damage. But it will not get another hit. 12k damage from that diadem. This one has dealt almost as much. And I think we're going to go to elimination here. Quickscops is doing pretty good to push deeper in. You can't stop the gat! The Daedala will fall. It wasn't that important anyway. Who needs to build more diadems? I've got one in your base and it's proxy. The proxy stockade is still working. Unfortunately, the phalanxes can stop the gat. Oh, there's a couple more reinforcements here. You might be able to save that Daedala. He's gonna go ahead and lift it. Definitely looks better now. I love the sirens here. Are they gonna be able to... Oh, never mind, they died. The phalanx has just annihilated everything on the ground. A couple dilettantes still working out. They will get shellacked. Oh, the killing fields, the fire fields, plus the reinforcements coming on back from the main base. That's gonna wipe the attack force, and GG has to be called. What a deranged game of Cosmonarchy. Yeah, clearly we've seen it all. Proxy diadem for the win. And you know what? This 1-to-1 series, who is the better player, I will never know until later. Maybe we'll see a legendary rematch of them in the future. I actually have another Underclass TVT, I believe, coming up. Or maybe it's a different game. I can't remember. There's some crazy game that also got uploaded that's like a half an hour long. So stay tuned for that. Always more daily Cosmonarchy on this channel. So subscribe if you like what you see. Toss a few bucks our way on the coffee if you're interested in supporting development. We will be back tomorrow, so I will see you then. GG.